Hello everybody, this is the Dungeoneer, and this is the very first Drawcast. Oh my god. The animated pod show, the anime... Great start! Just as a disclaimer, I am not a great speaker. I lose track, I mispronounce things, and I totally lose focus at some point, so stick with me on this one. I'm going to try to get through this without editing it. I think that's pretty much how podcasts go. I don't think there is any editing. I think it's all done in one shot. But let's get into today's topic. Now, if you see the title, you can probably guess it has something to do with Skylanders, and you would be correct. It does have something to do with Skylanders, and a recent debacle I got into with Xbox support and Activision. So, let's begin by giving you a little bit of history about me. I got into Skylanders when Trap Team came out, but I purchased Swap Force first. I got into Swap Force and absolutely loved it. I love Skylanders. Like, the whole idea of it was really good. It really brought me back to, like, the old days of adventure games. Like, it reminded me of Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. Like, adventure games don't seem to come out anymore like this, with like these big, bright, colorful worlds and these big, bright, colorful characters and stuff. And I really liked it, and I was like hooked immediately. I was, the money was just flying out of my wallet as I'm buying more and more pieces like a fucking crack addict. But I loved the game, and then I moved on to Trap Team, which I thought was... It was still pretty good, but I don't think it was as good as Swap Force. They did a couple things differently that I didn't really like. Like, the menu layout just seemed kind of weird, and the way they had the hats was kind of strange. Like, in Swap Force, when you unlocked a new hat, it sort of like auto-organized it to the front, so all of your unlocked hats were in one bunch. But in Trap Force, it was all just like scattered throughout this giant fucking thing of like 400 hats, and you just had to like find where it was. And among like a few other little things, it just it didn't hit home with me like Swap Force did. So I was really excited for Superchargers, adding vehicles and all this shit. Like, it seemed really cool, and I was really excited for it. And it said it was coming out on the 20th. The 20th of September was its release date. But I also saw on this one forum that you could buy the Portal Owners Pack, which would be $50, and it would be just the digital game. And this was for people who already have the Portal, they already have pieces, they already have like an established collection. Because they stated that in the game, anyone can drive the cars, anyone can use the vehicles, so you don't really need to buy the new pieces. The digital Portal Owners Pack would also come with an instant Hot Streak and an instant Spitfire, so you would automatically get the car and one of the Superchargers, and you don't have to pay the extra money for it. So it's just $50 just for the game, and because otherwise the starter edition is $74. I mean, you get the physical pieces and stuff, but I wasn't really interested in that. Like, I just wanted to get the game. I just wanted to start playing. So from my knowledge, it looked as if all of this shit was gonna release on the same day. It was gonna release on the 20th. But when I went on the Xbox store, it wasn't on there. Like, the Xbox store has, Xbox One, I mean, has the coming soon section. And Skylanders wasn't on there. So I was kind of like, whatever, I'll just wait until the 20th, maybe it'll pop up. So, midnight on the 20th, it pops in there. But it says unavailable. Where it says to buy now, it's grayed out and it says unavailable. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll just wait. Maybe I'll wait until like noon or 1 o'clock, and maybe it will release. Maybe it's just some sort of time zone problem or something like that. So I waited until noon, and it still wasn't up. So I figured I would contact Xbox support. And I got into the live chat with somebody from Xbox support, and I told them what I was looking for. I'm like, I'm looking for the Portal Owners Pack. It's on the store, but it says it's unavailable. I just wanted to know, like, when it was going to become available. Like, is the release date different than the physical game? And because it says on there, it says the release date for the Portal Owners Pack was the 20th. And the guy told me that he didn't really know that much about it, and then he sent me a link. He's like, oh, I found it. Like, here's a link for it. I'm like, awesome, sweet. So I click on the link, and it takes me to the starter edition. And I'm like, no, I don't want the starter edition. I want the Portal Owners Pack, which is $50. And he had no idea what I was talking about. And he said, okay, well, actually, we don't control what's on the store. Activision would control what's on the store, like what I can see on the store. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes no fucking sense, but yeah, see you later. So I go to Activision, and their customer support is so fucking bad, it's ridiculous. Like, if you don't have a question about Call of Duty, they do not give a shit. So I go on there, and you can't just contact them. You have to, like, do this whole little puzzle survey bullshit so they can figure out how to help you better, supposedly. I'm doing air quotes for help you better. So I go on here, and I see all these different options for games, but Superchargers isn't on there. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I go on, like, the Skylanders one, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, and it asks you what your issue is, and my issue wasn't on there. And typically, for any other customer support I've ever seen, it usually says an option, my issue isn't listed here. So that way you can just go directly to, like, a live person, an email, or a phone number, or something, and they didn't have that. So the only options I had were to tweet them or to go to the forum. So I decided to tweet them. And I tweet them and I say, hey, you know, what's the deal with the Portal Owners thing? Like, why is it unavailable on Xbox? So I wait a couple minutes and no reply. Surprise. And I go on their Twitter and I look at their replies, and they're replying like every couple of minutes to people. It's not like they didn't see it, so they're replying to all these people like every 3 or 4 minutes, but it's all Call of Duty bullshit. So I go back to the Activision thing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be really sneaky, so I'm going to pretend, because I see that live chat is an option, but you have to get to it. Like, you have to answer the questions properly in order to let them allow you to get to the live chat. So I go into Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and I act like that's my problem. Like, oh, I can't get on Black Ops. So, like, I get through that, and then they're like, oh my god, a Black Ops question? Yeah, we'll help you out. So I immediately get into the live chat, and I immediately feel really, really bad. Like, I feel really guilty because this guy's like, yeah, reporting for duty, you know, like, he's all excited to help me out with Call of Duty, and he's like, what sort of Call of Duty problem do you have? And I'm like, actually, I'm looking for Skylanders, beep-a-doo. And I can tell the guy was instantly like, are you fucking serious? And I told him, hey, you know, this thing says it's unavailable on Xbox One. It's on the store, so, like, what is the deal with that? No, they told me to come to Activision. So the guy told me that there is no Portal Owners Pack. There is no digital download of the game. You have to buy the physical game. And I'm like, no, it says in the FAQ that there is a Portal Owners Pack that can be downloaded. And he said, well, you can try checking out GameStop or Best Buy. So I'm like, fuck, okay. So I call up GameStop, and at this point, I feel like such a fucking idiot, because my girlfriend's over, we're freaking out and laughing and just, like, being ridiculous, because I'm a fucking grown-ass man who's going through all this trouble to get a game that's, like, aimed towards children. Like, I have never been that, like, crazy about something. Like, I don't know, because I was going to give up on it, but my girlfriend was like, no, you're going to fucking get this game. You want this game, you're going to fucking get this game. So we, like, kept on it all day. So I called GameStop, and the guy said, the guy was like, oh, yeah, we have tons of them. And I'm like, the physical game? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, just the game. I'm looking for something called the Portal Owners Pack. And he's like, oh no, we don't have that. And I'm like, do you know when you're gonna get it? No, I actually haven't heard anything about that. So it's like some sort of fucking conspiracy about this Portal Owners Pack, and it doesn't exist, and it does exist. It's like the fucking unicorn of Skylanders, apparently. And that's when I realized that they don't advertise it. The only way that I found out about the Portal Owners Pack is on a forum or an FAQ, and the FAQ takes you to a link that has the Portal Owners Pack mentioned in it. Like, nowhere do they have it advertised, at least that I could find. Like, if someone could find it, I'm the asshole. But they don't have it ready available. Like, if you go on their website and you say buy now, it takes you directly to the starter edition, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, why have something available but not advertise it? Well, I know why. It's because like, they want people to buy the $74 thing. Like, they want them to buy more shit. So I went back to Activision, and I told them what the hell was going on. I got into the live chat again, and he said, well, I actually can't help you, but the Twitter can. And I'm like, at this point, I spammed the Activision Twitter. I took a picture of the Xbox One store where it showed the Portal Owners Pack. It said that in the text, like I'm not crazy. And it said unavailable. And I took a picture of it and sent it to Activision, and I spammed them. I sent this like 5 times. No one answered me. So then my girlfriend was like, okay, well, here's what you do. Go into their replies and reply to one of their replies to somebody else. So reply to someone else's conversation that they're having. So I inject myself into someone else's conversation about their support, you know, and I leave this image. I'm like, where the fuck is this fucking game? Like, why can't I play this goddamn game? And no, still no reply. Finally, I spam Xbox support. I spam their Twitter, and I'm like, where's this game? Why can't I get this game? Where's this game? Why is this unavailable? Why is this unavailable? And still no reply. And finally, at midnight, fucking finally, the game suddenly becomes available on the 21st on midnight, just as soon as it turned the 21st. After I did all this fucking spamming bullshit, me and my girlfriend are laughing our asses off. And on Twitter, and I'll put up a picture of it. On Twitter, I said something like, "Oh, fuckity fuckadoodle-doo, the game is finally available." And Xbox support replies to it saying, oh, like, I don't remember what they said, but they said, like, oh, you know, did you check the website? It just became available. And, like, oh my god, I felt so ridiculous. So I downloaded the game, started playing it. The game is fantastic right now. I highly recommend it to anyone. It's just really good. They fix a lot of things that I didn't like in Trap Team. Like when you go to like upgrade your Skylander, you always have to like, because when you buy a new skill, it like shows this animation of your Skylander glowing, like you just learned the new skill, and then it backs you out of the menu. So then you have to talk to the person again to open up the menu to look at more stuff. Well, they fixed that, so like now when you buy a skill, it just directly goes right back into the skill menu. So like they cut out a lot of like stupid bullshit that was just really annoying. So like the game has like a ton of polish. It was really, really good so far. And yeah, that was my whole fucking Activision debacle. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Their customer support is amazing. Just 10 out of 10, flawless. Yeah. So that will do it for today's podcast. I really don't know what else to talk about. I really don't even know how to end the podcast because I'm kind of just riffing on this one. So yeah. Have a good day. Have a good day. I hope you enjoy my podcast. Yeah.